Hey friends, welcome back to Synity's Feature Friday, Best Practice Accelerators Edition. As a reminder, on Feature Fridays, we dig into the awesome new products, features, and solutions that our engineering and product team is cranking out for our customers. I'm Kevin Gully, the head of product marketing at Synity, and I'm excited to be joined today by Senior Product Manager at Synity, Andy Lund. Thanks for jumping on today, Andy.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Well, it's great to see you. And this is a conversation that I've really been looking forward to for a while because Synity is really breaking new ground in the industry with these best practice accelerators by taking the learning, experience, and expertise developed over the course of thousands of enterprise data migration and data project management projects and embedding it right into our platform and positioning our customers and partners to choose which one of these acceleration packs would make their projects go faster and have a higher likelihood of success. So, I'm hoping I did that justice with a really quick introduction, but I was hoping that you could give us a more complete introduction from your seat because you've been working on these for a while and talk about why this is something that our customers have been asking for and why they're really excited about it.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So even though now I'm working as a product manager on our products, I come from a services background. And over many years, delivering projects, we find that every project, typically has, very common kind of challenges. So while every single project is kind of different, trying to get the foundation in place to get to the point where you can actually really tackle the nuances and the core parts of the things that customers are trying to achieve, there's normally a common base. And quite often, a lot of time and effort is required to get to that common base. So what we're basically developing is these best practices content that we can then bring to a project to allow those projects to get there quicker and cheaper, so that our consultants and partners and customers can really focus on the main problems that they're trying to solve.
Right, and when it comes to these accelerators, are there different types of accelerators that people should be aware of?
Yeah, so we really classify them as two different kinds. We have knowledge packs. And basic knowledge packs are typically registrations that are part of our products. So on a migration, for example, we sort of deliver knowledge packs that have, for example, an S/4HANA wave that has a whole bunch of data objects and process areas and target tables and fields that are most commonly used on real implementations. But then aside, we have other types of knowledge that may be like project plans, other kinds of templates for standard operating procedures, or load programs that are not necessarily artifacts of our products, but they are all parts of the delivery experience. So
right.
We kind of bring those to bear on projects, yeah.
Yeah, sort of knowledge and experience that has been built up over the course of different projects with different customers that we've created, that they've created, but just knowledge that sort of is consistent across different types of projects.
Yeah, and these things have often been through the mill several times, so they've got the experience of many projects on them. So that's very important to sort of deliver that experience, so that projects don't start from kind of nothing. And then the second type is solution accelerators, and these are sort of much more application kind of driven. So these may be full-blown solutions built on our technology stack, or it could be a sort of a combination of a solution like technology, but also with knowledge. So as an example of that, we have a solution accelerator called CFIN, which is a central finance accelerator. And this is really, this is a solution that helps customers integrate in real time all of their financial transactional processing from potentially dozens of legacy systems to consolidate that through, to post all of that in real time into S/4HANA. So this is like an example where we sort of utilize our own technology, our own best practice, but also third-party technology. In this case, SAP Data Services. Yeah, so if we can deliver that to a customer, then along with like the mappings from different legacy systems in terms of the content, that can really accelerate those projects.
Absolutely. Yeah, could be a potential game changer. So let's talk a little bit about who the users are of these best practice accelerators and how we'll take advantage of them. Because you talked about a couple of different types of packs. Let's just talk a little bit about who should be thinking about these as users and it seems like once they're in place, they may not even necessarily know that they're there. But there's things have to happen for them to get in place, correct? Right. So.
Yeah, so very often, almost like the starting point of sort of understanding what it is to deploy onto a project is when our delivery partners, our pre-sales, and our sales teams, or our partners are kind of working with customers to understand what problems are being solved. So once we understand the definition of the problem, we can then look internally to find out what assets we can deploy to those projects, and then we can make those things available. So kind of the real benefit, the people that really benefit from this is consultants on the ground that are working on the projects. They can basically start with something, and kind of build upon that. System integrators, this can help them accelerate their projects and give a more consistent understanding of kind of what they need to do rather than building things from the bottom up. And then ultimately, it's our customers that benefit from this, because we can then provide value quicker.
Right. So let's go into a few more examples. You had given a couple quick ideas of the types of things that these solution and best practice accelerators can accomplish for customers. But if there are a few more examples, let's dig into those so that people can get a better flavor for this.
Yeah, so I'll give an example of a knowledge pack that we have. So on every single project, very common for us is migrating from ECC to S/4HANA. This is something that's very hot for us right now. And there's a process for identifying what records or what data is active for a particular project. So what we have a knowledge pack that basically has a wave and process areas and rules, so that basically customers can basically take that knowledge pack and then extract the data, put some parameters in some tables to identify what's in scope in terms of countries, organizations, plants, and those kind of things. And then that can be processed through to get a baseline set of data. And that really helps projects understand the scope very quickly. And it ensures that they've got a great foundation to then build on sort of moving forward. It really kickstarts cleansing activities. So with this particular knowledge pack, this on a project, this is going to get people up and running to that point in days rather than weeks. Mm. That's a good example of a knowledge pack. Of a solution accelerator, we have a couple of data quality jumpstarts. So basically, these jumpstarts, have a whole bunch of kind of like data quality rules, and then there is other collateral in terms of particular tables to extract from legacy systems with criteria for identifying what records are in scope. So this can sort of be plugged in very quickly. Extracts can be made, and then data quality reports on very common data quality challenges that we see in customer systems. We can start generating those reports very quickly, and that allows data to be explored and then built upon. So even though maybe all of those reports are not necessarily relevant, maybe 20% are, but more importantly, it gives a foundation on which to then incrementally build upon in a very quick manner.
Right, sort of provides a roadmap for how to move forward, because otherwise you're going to have to start creating these and almost be looking to create new custom reports every single time you're doing a data quality thing. So this is
and also kind of relying upon the experience and knowledge of individual consultants. So we basically pull that knowledge from many engagements, put it into a single place, and we sort of bring that to bear, and it just makes things quicker.
Right.
And it's not about and it's not just about synergy delivery. This is about helping customers, partners, and whoever be successful in developing solutions using our products. This is our big goal: is to really make people successful using our products. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's always synergy delivering this. So this means that we have to build up the documentation and the procedures around all this stuff, to every time we sort of use this, that we make it better and we make the deployment easier, and just so that we can share that experience and make it stronger.
Now, this is something that you already laid out a number of accelerators and knowledge packs, but this is something that is really, in many ways, just getting going, and we're putting the structure in place to be able to do this. So maybe you can talk us through any technology or highlights of the technology or points of interest that sort of speak to that, because this is going to be something that's going to just continue to get richer and more powerful as we go forward.
Yeah, so as kind of a sort of principle, much of these knowledge packs and solution accelerators, we basically give away to customers and partners that are basically using our software.
Hmm.
But there are certain, higher value, more extensive solutions in particular that are almost like a proprietary vicinity that we sort of use to sort of really drive kind of consulting engagements. So on our website on support.synergy.com, we have descriptions of these sort of knowledge packs and solution accelerators that are available. And generally, most of these things can be requested via Synergy support. So basically, raise a support ticket. Our help desk will basically give you a link to basically download that, and there'll be an installation guide to explain how to install these things. And then sort of moving forward, we're really looking at how we can, start to abstract some of this knowledge away from individual solutions, so that we can almost start to create solutions from this knowledge, rather than having solutions kind of pre-built. And this means that that knowledge, can be portable to other technologies, not necessarily just our projects. We have customers using the Synergy knowledge tier, and maybe they're not using some of our products maybe for doing a data quality initiative, but we want kind of the rules and all that metadata to exist, so that it can be used on whatever initiative customers are getting involved in.
Interesting. So let's finish up here by talking and moving back a little bit to the benefits of this. Obviously, there's always a lot of talk inside of the product team around the way that this would benefit, and there's multiple different types of constituents that could benefit from this. There's you were mentioning alliance partners or consultants. Obviously, business users inside the companies. Can you talk a little bit to the different types of benefits that companies can expect from this awesome new feature?
Yeah, so if we're thinking about users, and I'm really particularly thinking of people developing kind of the solutions, that could be people from the businesses we work with, it could be our consultants, or it could be kind of partners. And really, this basically saves them, a lot of I guess like the hard yard work, which is quite often at the beginning of a project, head down, headphones in, just kind of setting stuff up. So with these kind of content accelerators, the knowledge packs and the solution accelerators, they can kind of get to that point much quicker. And that allows them to basically focus their time on looking at the key challenges, the real problems that they're trying to solve. Okay, so that benefits the customers, because they're getting, they're paying for these consulting resources, and the bulk of their attention is then really on solving the complex problems rather than just doing the hard work. So they get better outcomes. And for our partners, the SIs, by having knowledge packs and solution accelerators that can be deployed, and also that they can sort of train around as well, it allows them to hit the ground running, and it kind of gives more assurance in terms of consistency of delivery. It helps them kind of scope things better, and it also reduces the risk. And many of these kind of partners also, just like us, maybe work on kind of fixed margin, sort of fixed price bids. So by kind of focusing on making the knowledge stronger, the deployment better, and getting that 80% quicker, it also helps kind of maintain and improve margins in terms of our consulting services.
Right. So faster, lower risk, better margins, better costs. I mean, those are all good things. And this is already in market. We've got the packs out there, and people are already able, as you said, to download them as necessary. So, and as the year goes on, what can customers expect as far as additional solutions coming to bear, Andy?
So really, it's a case of building upon what we've currently got. So, for example, right now we have like an S/4HANA kind of wave. There are thoughts to basically start to break that down to sort of make it more industry specific, for example, so that rather so as we have more knowledge, to start to maybe tag this knowledge, so that we can basically be much more precise in deploying much more industry specific or process specific knowledge, rather than right now we're sort of delivering in a wider way.
Right. So retail has got, their own unique set of challenges for big retail companies as opposed to a big life sciences company, for example. And starting to think how it can be verticalized to be able to bring those kinds of best practices into these accelerators as well.
Exactly. And we've got a whole host of other solution accelerators that our consulting teams have sort of developed. And these, slowly they're basically, we're sort of going through them with those teams to standardize the code, package them up, installation guides, user guides, testing the installation of those. So as and when those things go through those processes, they are then things that are available as either things that projects can leverage free of charge, or depending upon those solution accelerators, potential add-ons that customers can pay for, where they're solving complex problems that are not necessarily features in their own right on our products.
Well, listen, Andy, this has been really interesting. I know this is going to be a game changer. It's unique in the marketplace. These best practices have literally been built up over thousands of projects, and it's really fantastic to see these coming to market in a really powerful manner. So thanks for your time today, and look forward to seeing more of these come and start solving problems for our customers.
Thank you, Kevin.
Take care.